What's up, y'all? It's Teddy Red in the building. I'm back with another video. Remember, if you like my vibe, like, share, and most definitely subscribe. You know the vibes. Today, I got my snacks from my last little video. The pizza. So, I got that, and I'm about to do a little story time about my first lesbian gay experience, right? Okay, so let's see, where do I begin? My first gay experience was, I was like 20. I was living in Georgia. I probably was, I, let's see, yeah, I was 20 at the time, right? I had just left my baby daddy, and I was working at the state corrections for about 2 years at the time. So it was this one particular day. It was this new girl. I'll never forget. It was a new girl. She was a white girl, you know, a Caucasian. Anyways, I was doing tryouts for the CERT team at the time, right? And she happened to be there. At the time, I was a little bit more feminine. I was very feminine, then nails done. I think I had a bob at the time. But yeah, I was very feminine then. So, anywho, she kept looking at me, and somehow she ended up giving me her number. And yeah, I wasn't thinking nothing of it. You know, I was like, oh, cool, she want to be friends, blase, blase. I still was kind of like new or whatever, right? But she started texting me. Mind you, this is my first experience, never been with a girl, nothing. So she started texting me. But before I get to that, let me backtrack a little bit. Okay. So the girl was very feminine. She was a white girl, like kosher white girl. You feel what I'm saying? Like kosher. Like kosher. I'm just gonna put it like that. You wouldn't think that she would be into girls at all. Okay. And then at the time I was staying in Northeast Georgia. You feel me? But come to find out, she had used to date a dark-skinned stud with dreads, right? And she had been dating him on and off for like 2 or 3 years. But that's just a sidebar, right? So she was real feminine, you know, kosher white girl, whatever. So fast forward back to her texting me. So after the tryouts or whatever, I ended up going home, and I got some text messages from her. And you know, it was, hey, how you doing? Like, oh my God, you're so fine, and blah, 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 blah. And then she started asking me questions like, are you dominant? Are you submissive? At the time, I had no idea what any of that meant. But, you know, I didn't know where it was going. I just thought, you know, okay, it's just okay, whatever, okay. So a little bit after that, maybe like the next night, I think I was off. Me and her were off. So she texted me. She was like, come meet me. It was late. It was like, I want to say it was like, how late was it? It was like 11, 12 o'clock at night. So I ended up leaving my house. And this is a sidebar. This is a sidebar. I was still staying with my baby daddy at the time. We were still staying together. And yes, we were still staying together. And I was doing my thing, he was doing his. But I ended up leaving. It was like 11:30 at night. I ain't think nothing of it. So, but we slept in the bed together and everything. Like, we was still technically together, but in my mind, I was single. I was doing my own thing, whatever. And this wasn't nothing serious, no way. It was just, it was what it was. So she was like, "Oh, meet me at Waffle House." It was like 11:30. I didn't think nothing of it. So I was like, "Okay, I'll meet you at Waffle House." So I ended up meeting her at Waffle House, and she bought food or whatever. I'm like, "Okay, she bought food or whatever." She was like, "Oh, how about you come back to my house?" And I was like, "All right, cool." I still ain't think nothing of it. So we get there and her mom is sitting in the front room. And I'm like, "Oh, this is weird. This is awkward." Mama sitting downstairs. What kind of shit is this? So, anywho, she's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. My mom is cool. She's gonna go to bed in a little bit. Blase, blase, woo, woo, woo." So we end up going upstairs. Well, her mom ends up going to her room, and we end up sitting on the couch downstairs. We're talking, just idle chit chat. So how'd you grow up? What this, that, and the third. And she get kind of touchy feely. But at this point, I didn't know what. I'm still naive to what's going on. Okay, I didn't think I was coming over there to get laid. You know what I'm saying? I still didn't think that. I was still naive. I didn't think that was what was happening. So, child, I'm telling the story. I ain't even eating none of the food. So, I ain't think nothing of it. This thing I know, it's like, let's go upstairs. So I'm like, okay. And we go upstairs. She changes into like this green, I'll never forget, it was like this green satin pajama set. I'm like, "Y'all, I ain't got nothing to change in. She come back out. And I don't know, one thing led to another. But one thing I can tell you, I never touched this girl. I haven't touched this girl. This girl was soaking wet. I mean, drenched. Mind you, my first time, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I'm pretty sure everybody, I didn't know what to do. I didn't do nothing. Baby, I was a little flicky, tongue, whatever. But y'all, I didn't know what I was doing. I went down there, I had no idea. Clothes went to flying. I had no idea what I was doing. No idea, right? So, I'm not gonna lie. That's still the best. Some of the best I've ever had was from her. Fast forward, we worked together, mind you. So after we did our do, I went home. It was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I get home. And y'all, I'm trying to sneak into bed. I go take a shower, try to sneak into bed. Child, why my baby daddy choked the shit out of me? It was like, "Where the fuck did you go? What da? I'm like, "What? Shit, you doing your thing." All right. He was like, "What was you out doing?" I was out with a female. I told him the truth, because I'm a truthful, honest person. I told him where I went. We went together. You doing your thing, so why can't I do that? He was like, but anyways, we started fighting, and then next thing I know, I went to sleep. I think I slept on the couch. But yeah, child, that was my early 20s. And I was living dangerous then. Living dangerous. But after that, back to the girl. After that, we ended up not talking no more. But it was like a, one hit. Whatever. But she ended up telling everybody, "Oh my God, it was the best I ever had." I'm like, "Bitch, I ain't do shit. I ain't do nothing. Oh, I didn't even know what I was doing. Yeah, I ain't know what, baby." So yeah, I'm living dangerous. In my 30s, I'm not living like that, baby. I'm in the house. Praise God. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, I lived a life prior to this, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, that's my story, though. Hey, y'all. Yeah, I figure I'd throw that in there at the end, All right, y'all. Take it out.